let's head into the papers now, see what the headlines are saying across Nigeria. And we're starting from the Daily Sun. But let me introduce my guests in the studio. I have with me an aviation expert, a political technocrat, Dr. Dayo Kayode, here in the studio, as well as social commentator Sijibomi Adebiyi Benet. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
And let me say Happy Children's Day today.
Yes, the same thing. And then let me quickly say this in 30 seconds. That could you believe that government is listening to us? Because, you know, last week we were talking about Fashola's performance and all that, and talking about three different ministries being given to. And I said, look, when he was in Lagos State, this guy was having more than 3 ministries, over 10. I mean, controlling the whole state. But could you believe that when I said it depends, functionality of Fashola depends on the body language of the president.
Of the president.
And then I now use Lagos Apapa. I mean, Apapa will show the Express as an example.
Okay.
Can you believe that very day, or I think the second day, the president gave an order to Fashola, look, get that place done.
Well, however, we will be beaming our searchlight on the road there, on the Apapa gridlock, and see how effective the president's directive has been.
Oh, my evaluation is that statement is too vacuous.
All right, let's see how it goes. Daily Sun is where we start from now. We'll come back to all of those. Let's just go through the papers now. Yoruba elders, Ohaneze cry out, South under siege of herdsmen. Appeal to Buhari to arrest situation. That is what the Daily Sun is carrying on the front page this morning. From there, let's go to The Nation. The Nation say Onayekon prays against bad advisors for Buhari. Okay, that's looking towards greater prospects for the next dispensation. From The Nation, let's go to The Blueprint. The Blueprint is saying we are vindicated on Zamfara. INEC is saying that. This follows the Supreme Court judgment clarifying the issues of all the contestants from Zamfara State recently. Now, this day is our next paper now. Let's see what it says. Buhari meets northern governors today over worsening insecurity. That is what this day has on the front page, and has some multiple riders there. Say violence erupts in Jos. Many killed, houses torched. PDP blames APC president for escalating despondency. Nigeria dancing on the brink of chaos, says Onayekon. And Oshibajo, the future is bright. Okay. All right. From this day, let's go to the Vanguard. The Vanguard is saying on headsmen, Southwest under siege. Yoruba elders, Agbekoya tell the federal government, say people may resort to self-defense. Okay, we only just hope that doesn't happen, otherwise it's certainly going to compound the issues. But security agencies certainly know what to do. The Vanguard, that's what it carries. Let's go to The Guardian now. The Guardian is our last paper for this morning. Buhari under fire over nation's oil sector's woes. And stakeholders want NNPC commercialized, and $5.94 billion oil gas exported in 1 year. That is what is on the front page of The Guardian. Gentlemen, the security issues are still on, and I'd like us to start from this day, saying Buhari meets northern governors today over worsening insecurity. We have had calls from the Benet State governor at a time, the president come to our rescue. We've heard from the Zamfara State governor at one time, Katsina State governor at the other time. All of this mix. The president is meeting is meant to meet with the state governors, the northern state governors now. What do you expect? Dr. Kayode, let me start with you.
You see, at different period, these people have been meeting as regards security issues. At different periods, the president has been calling the security apparatus managers to come around to let them see how it's going to be. But my own question is this: to what extent is all those meetings, relationships, effective in curbing this thing?
All the brainstorming.
The brainstorming. You can see how opacitic all these brainstormings are. Very hollow.
Without,
would you say they are hollow? Would you say they are hollow?
Because
the point there is, when we also get reports from the military how they have been
listen, my brother.
Arresting bandits.
When you want to evaluate a particular activity, you got to see a kind of improvement, not that you're moving backwards or you are stationed in a position, okay? With all the meetings they have been having, with all the brainstorming they have been having, what has it resulted to? Okay. Rather, the situation has becoming and unbecoming, deteriorating every day. Now the thing has dissipated.
All right. Let me bring it to you, Sijibomi. The past 1 week, in fact, the past 2 weeks, we've heard several reports of the military clearing the bases of Boko Haram on one hand, arresting bandits on the other, and even kidnappers. What do you say? Would you see that as progress or not progress?
There is progress on the side, and there is deterioration on the other side.
Okay.
And I believe if we really look at the pattern, it will be easy for us to know what's happening. When people come under superior firepower, nobody wants to die. Even the bandits don't want to die. The Boko Haram fighters, they don't want to die. That's why you see them strap bombs on minors, hypnotize these people to cause havoc. If you looked at the situation in Zamfara, the first confrontation they had with the military, when the fighter jets were released, you could see that this thing escalated to Katsina, to Sokoto. That means there was a kind of retreat on the part of the bandits. After the IG and the military, they reasoned together again to have like an holistic and multifaceted confrontation with them. So this thing, if you looked at the last 4 days, the last 5 days, we've not been really hearing of bandits killing people here, killing people there. So, but you could see that the situation is coming back to the south, the southwest in particular, very seriously. The road to my state is like a no-go area now. If you're traveling Elisha-Akure or Elisha-Ekiti Road, it's a no-go area now. So it's something that we can't take one at a time. We have to look at it. You know, we have to fight it at the same time, simultaneously. So when the commissioner of police in those northern states is working or are working, then the ones in the south should not think this thing is not going to get to my side, because we have these the people that have been mentioned to be causing this havoc in the whole country now. We have people have alleged that some of them are Fulanis. So we have them all around.
The debate of Fulani, I guess, it's been laid to rest somehow. The tagging certain people with an ethnic group certainly has not necessarily been.
It's not about tagging.
Did you follow the report of the man at Ife? The man that was the professor that was abducted at Ife. He said the people he saw were Fulanis. Do you understand? And different people have been saying the abductors are Fulanis. So yeah, where do we go from there?
Yeah, but based on that, we can't tag all headsmen or all kidnappers as Fulani. It certainly would not, even based on rationality.
We are not tagging mostly now.
Because I think it's best to attach the incidents. If eventually anybody who does the kidnapping,
I'm not tagging them as Fulanis.
That is the incident.
Look at why wouldn't people tag it as Fulani thing? Let me tell you this. iPod. How many people did they kill? All iPod was saying was that, look, we want referendum. And they are telling their people, let us ensure we get referendum. And you are tagging them. And you are tagging them terrorists.
But the Fulani people recognize referendum.
No, the Constitution recognizes referendum. Right. It recognizes referendum. So why is government afraid of referendum? They are not killing people. They have not been to Ekiti to kidnap. They have not been to the north to kidnap. But these are people, these other people were going to different places. Not only kidnapping, even occupying people's territories. And you are still trying to dilly-dally with them. So what do you expect people to say?
I wouldn't want to defend that.
What do you want people to say?
I wouldn't want to defend that. It's another argument on its own.
But it's part of it.
What we're saying is, this, you know, their domain, they have an advantage here. It didn't start with the Fulanis. Don't let us try to tag or anything. The kidnapping did not start with them. The challenge is the insecurity, the moral decadence, the economic issue with Nigeria started with everybody. Its kidnapping started from the south. But the only thing is when everybody sees a means to make money, everybody capitalizes on it. So by the time it got to the north, and this is these people's constituency, they are not used to staying in towns. They are not used to staying in municipal areas. Their constituency is in the bush. So it's easier for them to perpetrate these acts without being caught, easier than other people.
All right.
No, sorry,
Dr. Kayode, there are also, we also know that there are lots of criminals who, because there is this notion that certain people do a kind of thing, they go into it and, okay, fine, they are going to blame these people or blame the other people. It is also a likelihood that way.
No, you see,
but I'd like us to leave it here now because this argument, the debate will still go on. And I know we'll have more time to talk about this as we get along. Dr. Kayode, thank you very much for coming on the program.
Pleasure.
Sijibomi, thank you so much for coming as well.
The pleasure is mine.
Thank you.
Well, it's time for a look at stories making the headlines in Nigerian newspapers. I have with me in the studio to discuss these matters aviation expert and political technocrat Dr. Dayo Kayode and the social commentator Sijibomi Adebiyi Benet. Gentlemen, it's good to have you join us this morning.
Good morning.
This morning. That's it.
All right, let's check through the papers now. On the front page of Daily Sun newspaper, Yoruba elders Ohaneze cry out, South under siege of herdsmen, appeal to Buhari to arrest situation. That's it on Daily Sun. Moving on to the Nation newspaper, Onayekon prays against bad advisors for Buhari. Osinbajo sees bright future at inauguration service. Okay, from the Nation to Blueprint newspaper, we are vindicated on Zamfara. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, is saying that. And on the front page of this day newspaper, Buhari meets northern governors today over worsening insecurity. This day newspaper, violence erupts in Jos, many killed, houses torched. PDP blames APC president for escalating despondency. Nigeria dancing on the brink of chaos, says Onayekon. Osinbajo, the future is bright. Right, that's it on this day. On Vanguard newspaper, herdsmen, Southwest under siege, Yoruba elders, Agbekoya tell federal government. Riders say people may resort to self-defense. Okay, that's it on Vanguard. Let's now look more critically at the content of the Nation newspaper this morning. Onayekon prays against bad advisors for Buhari. Onayekon is the Catholic Archbishop of Abuja Diocese, Cardinal John Onayekon. Looking at this advice coming from the Cardinal at this time, advice, prayer against bad advisors. Did we see the issue of bad advisors come to play this 4 years rounding off? Sijibomi, let's begin with you.
I think the clergyman had to do what he had to do because what we learned from this administration in the last 4 years is just the fact that there are a few people called cabals that have taken over the administration. It was alleged by the wife of the president, and no other person could be more informed with the kitchen cabinet than the wife of the president. So in terms of advice, maybe the advices from the cabal were detrimental to the activities and the programs of the president, as the case may be, because Nigeria has not really, we've left recession, but we have not really had it good within the last 4 years. People can complain about where we're coming from. There can be discussions and assertions and explanations to that. But the fact is we have not really had it very good. So now that a new administration is coming to power, it's not really about the advisors. It's about the quality of the cabinet members.
So let's talk about those who will be coming in now. Yes, the members of the cabinet have been told to hand over by tomorrow, 28th. to pave way for the new ones to come in. It's not known yet when exactly the president would reel out the names of those he's looking at bringing on board, but we hope that would be soon. What do you think the president needs to do to be able to get the best hands? Because that was what people looked forward to in 2015, you know, hoping that, of course, the president was looking for the best hands he could work with.
You see, Abosede, let us look at it conceptually now. The kind of advice you get is a function of the leader's vision. Is a function of the leader's philosophy. Like in this book, 360-degree leaders. Somebody who is working with a particular leader will not, is not supposed to believe that he knows more than that leader. So the people that you are going to bring together, what they tell you will be based on your direction, the way you want things to go. They wouldn't go beyond that. So saying that there are bad advisors or whatever, I don't want to look at that. The cabals that we're talking about were giving him the kind of advice they know he wants to hear. Let me give you an instance here. Let me give you an instance here, Abosede. Let me give you an instance here, Abosede. Look at the security apparatus leaders. Controlling all the security apparatus we have in Nigeria, service chiefs. They will only curb insecurity based on the kind of authority given to them by the president. Look at this IG that the president sent to somewhere, and he did not go there. What did he do to him? He didn't do anything.
When you talk about the service chiefs, each is a head of his or her unit.
Yes.
And then we know that the president is a grand commander.
Yes.
And at different times, there have been orders to them to curb insecurity.
And that's why I'm giving you that example. That's why I'm giving you this example. There was a scenario here in Nigeria whereby the president asked the then IG to go somewhere. And the IG said he didn't know the president asked him to go there. And he did not go. What happened to that IG? It's a body language. It's vision. It's philosophy. Because it knows.
What did you think should have happened to the IG?
Immediately he has sacked that IG, immediately others will sit up. Then they will know that the body language is total security for Nigerians. Well, they will know that he has taken the security of Nigerians as his priority.
Well, let's look at another angle. The president is known in some quarters as a no-nonsense man, someone who abhors corruption, and it's actually one of the tripod on which this administration, this past 4 years, have stood. And it was very vehement and talks about fighting corruption and all that. So did we, how did people take that? Because yes, the international community, there was even recognition for him, beyond the shores of the country.
Yeah, we have the revelation of the wife over the weekend.
Okay, let's have Sijibomi speak on this, please.
I think corruption can be taken into, fighting corruption can be taken in two ways. I deal with facts and figures. In the history of this country, there has not been any government that has been able to confront to a little extent, don't let me say a large extent, a little extent, corruption. And there has not been any government that have been able to get money back from looters like this government.
So is it like it's a
fight that what we're saying is still a scratch in the surface, on the surface. What we're saying is prevention, which is very, very key. And you see, I like to take things in context. We have shortcomings, we have reservations, but we should not look at it as if we have not made progress.
All right, gentlemen, so let's hope that this next 4 years will bring better stories for the Nigerian people. Thank you very much, Dr. Dayo, Kayode, Sijibomi, Adebiyi, Benet.
Thanks for
joining us at this time.